Welcome to a video where here is my take on type of video that I prepared slides for you. But before I begin, I want to say thank you for Veronica putting this post together with actually writing it, the entire trip. And the title for this post is Rate's Second Week of Dispatching. I'm assuming she is on the second week of dispatching and she has a carrier or owner-operator. It's a reefer. It's a new authority. For those of you who think it's very hard to book loads for new authority, well, take example from Veronica. She did a great job. Let's deep dive into this. As I said, I broke down the entire trip, going over the deadhead, going over the loaded miles, everything like that, and see, are we profitable? What Veronica did here. So the first trip is actually, it starts from Pelham, Georgia, and goes to Lansing, Michigan. We got 3,100 or 3,100. What we're hauling, what we're transporting is a watermelon. It's just one pick, one drop. It's actually, we have 1,231 miles with the deadhead. And again, thank you, Veronica, just putting this DH, meaning deadhead, are the empty miles to pick up a location. Long pickup, she said, yes, it's about, I'm assuming, give it or take about 250 miles, something like that. And also waited until the pickup the watermelons. What we have, this is basically, the reason why I put Savannah, Georgia is because I don't know the starting point, right? And why is that? She says is Pelham, Georgia, but also said that, hey, deadhead, we had a deadhead about 250 mile radius. Why is that? I mean, 250 miles. Why? Like, why we have this number and then why we have the Pelham, Georgia as the origin? Well, origin meaning she picked up the load from Pelham, Georgia, but she got from somewhere to the Pelham, Georgia. That's why, to illustrate this point, I put Savannah, Georgia. Why? Because from Savannah, Georgia to Pelham, Georgia, it's about 250 miles. Okay? That's why I put that. You can have the better idea. And this is the first trip, right? Well, it's not exactly a trip, but then driver was driving, so I'm considering this is a trip. And I put it number 180. I will come back to this. And I put it, and I color coded this in red. Why? Because this is an expense. In green means this is basically loaded miles we're making, but it doesn't mean that we are profitable. From Savannah, Georgia, we went to Pelham, Georgia. And from Pelham, Georgia, we pick up a load for 3,100, and we actually delivered in Lansing, Michigan. That's the second trip, actually, right? But many of you may consider this as the first trip, but call this deadhead. Well, yes, technically it is a deadhead, but this is the first trip, and this is the second trip. That's why I put these numbers. Let's come back and let's see what happened. Then from we went from Grand Haven, okay, Michigan, to Fort Hill, South Carolina. And she got load for 2,800. This is a nursery, trees, bushes, plants. And again, but there are 3 pickups and 1 drop. But hey, required trailer wash, that means wash out. What that means is that, hey, listen, we will take this nursery, which is trees, bushes, and plants. Hey, our trailer gets dirty and we need to wash the trailer, right? So loaded miles, it's 906 with deadhead. Okay, so including the deadhead. And sounds not very good, but turned to be a great load. Why? And she explains here, all 3 pickups in under 2 hours, which is really, really fast. And it wasn't dirt in the trailer as usually, but racks with plants and some pallets with the bushes. Well, it's okay. We swapped away. We good. Awesome. So under 2 hours, we got the loads and we're driving. Now let's go to see actually what's happening. And this is basically from Lansing goes to where? Grand Haven. But this is from second trip. Meaning, once we delivered, we're going empty. Delivered this load, now we're going empty another deadhead miles. Now, my driver is empty. What's happening from Lansing, Michigan, goes to Grand Haven, picks up a load. But from Lansing, Michigan to Grand Haven, we're going empty. That means we're deadheading, right? That's why we have the color code red, which is expense. So we'll pick up a load, then we are heading down to Fort Hill, South Carolina, which is third trip, right? Why is that? Well, this is the first trip, this is the second trip, then from Lansing to Grand Haven, we have the third trip from here down to Fort Hill, South Carolina. This is our fourth trip. Fourth trip, we had how much? 2,800. As she says, 2,800. And again, this is 3 pickups in 1 drop, but total mile is 906, including deadhead. Awesome. So what's happening next? We are deadheading. Now we're empty because we delivered. Now from Fort Hill, we go where? Spartanburg, right? South Carolina. We go again empty. See, the fifth trip is actually costing us something. What is it? We're going empty to pick up a load here, and then we will go to final destination. So the final destination we have, Spartanburg, South Carolina to Hatfield, Pennsylvania, $800. So there you go. Now, these tags basically gives you the idea of how much it's costing us, and then how much we are actually making per trip. Now, this is the starting point, and this is the finish line. In this slide, what I did is basically, hey, the trip, I broke it down into small pieces like origin and destination with the deadhead miles. Hey, we actually started here, then went here, then from here to here, then we went here, all the miles you can see, and then we went to here, Fort Hill, South Carolina, then Spartanburg, South Carolina, which is deadhead, and then we'll finish here. Okay, now let's talk about the numbers. Although it seems like, oh, we made 2,000 here, there, and then we made 3,000 and 1,800. What's happening here? Total miles, if you can take a look, the entire thing, if you take this, you will see that it's about 2,900. 2,900 miles, okay, give it or take, and then with total revenue was 7,700. How? If we can come back, you will see 3,000, right? I mean, 3,100, adding 2,800 and adding in 1,800. Now, we have that as a revenue, rate per mile, 2.7. How? We basically took this number and divided by total miles, and we got about 2.7, which is not really good, but it's good. Okay? Fuel cost, it's about 2,100. What you're going to do is take these states, have the average fuel cost. Then what you need to know is the MPG. MPG stands for mile per gallon. Well, actually, how much this truck actually consumes for every mile. It's an efficiency, fuel efficiency. MPG, it's about 7. Okay, then you have that number, you have the miles, you have the fuel cost, and that's what we have. The fuel cost is about 2,100. Then give it or take, we assume that maybe Veronica takes about 6%, maybe it's a 7%, maybe it's 8, 10. I just take the average number, which is 6, because I don't know. And the cost is $460 to actually book these loads for this driver. Now, truck and trailer, it's about $4,500 per month, but then we divide it, and then now we have a weekly. Why? Because this is the second week of dispatching, right? This is, I'm assuming for the week of a trip. Okay. Now I take that, it's $1,125 if we divide by 4, right? Then we have insurance. Insurance about like $2,500 per month. If we divide by 4, this is $625. And total expense, if you add this, okay, let's come back. If you add this, and then cost of a dispatcher, then the fuel cost will have $2,100. That brings down the total expense is $4,500. It's plus or minus, okay? I'm just illustrating the point here. Then net revenue is $3,200. I'm assuming Veronica helped this owner-operator to make about $10,000. So that's what it is. But I really wanted to know what you guys think, your thoughts. First question is, what do you think about John and Veronica's journey? The John is the driver, okay? So what do you guys think about this journey? Then, was it worth it? If you're a dispatcher out there, if you're dispatching, please make comments to let me know. And what would you have done differently? I want you to drop your thoughts in the comments. If you guys like the video, please let me know so we can do more of these types of videos. Thank you.